Hi there everyone! In this video we're going to learn what proteins are and how proteins are made. First thing that we need to know is that proteins are long chain molecules made by organisms that help the organism function. Proteins are made of many amino acid molecules joined together, and we'll learn what amino acids molecules are a little bit later on. One kind of protein that we need to know about are called structural proteins. These are proteins that go to make up the structure of the organism that we're talking about. So skin, hair, bone, feathers, fur, teeth, anything that goes to make up a living thing are normally made of proteins. Another example of proteins are called hormones. Hormones are chemicals made by an organism that help it carry out its function. Another example of proteins are enzymes. So enzymes, we probably know, are proteins that help break down food from large molecules into small molecules so they can be absorbed by our body more effectively. Now, back to those amino acids. So the amino acids come into it because proteins are made of lots of amino acids joined together. There are 20 amino acids that occur in nature, and the combination that those amino acids are in goes to determine what protein is made. To give some examples of the different ways that amino acids can join together and the different proteins that we can make, we're going to learn that by nipping to the kitchen and we're going to do a little bit of cooking. So to demonstrate some of these structural proteins, I'm going to demonstrate that using a bit of cooked chicken. And I'm going to dissect this bit of chicken. Later on I'm going to turn it into some food, so you know, trust me, food isn't going to waste here. But I'm going to show you some different structural proteins that a chicken has that go to make up the chicken. So we're going to look at the skin, the muscle, the cartilage, and the bone. So first of all, the skin of the chicken is obviously around the outside. So there's the skin of our chicken there, and the skin of the chicken will have the amino acids ordered in a particular order. Next protein we're going to look at is the muscle. So the muscle is the bit that goes around the bone. We just take a bit of that, and this is another kind of protein that the chicken has. And again, the protein in the muscle the amino acids are ordered in a different way. Next, going to look at the cartilage. So the cartilage is the kind of rubbery bit in between the bones of a chicken, and the job of the cartilage is to help the joints between bones. It helps them move effectively. So they're kind of like lubricants for the bones and help them slide against each other. So it's that kind of that rubbery, plasticky sort of stuff that you get in between chicken bones and any other bones, and it's the same stuff that goes to make up your nose and your ears. So it's kind of rubbery sort of texture, and that's the cartilage. And finally we're going to look at the bones, and again the bones, the amino acids are ordered in a completely different way. So key thing that we need to know about proteins here is that all of these proteins that we can see here, all made out of those same 20 amino acids, the only difference being the order that those amino acids are in. And that the order that those amino acids are in is determined by the DNA. And we're going to look now at how that DNA tells the cell what kind of proteins it needs to make. Whether the DNA tells the proteins to go and make some skin, or some muscle, or some cartilage, or some bones, or any other protein that I mentioned earlier. We're going to look now at how it decides what the order is. Now that we know what proteins are, let's take a look at how proteins are made. Something that we need to know about that is that proteins are made in the ribosome of a cell. So ribosomes are special structures in the cell where those amino acids are joined together. The order that they're joined together is determined by the DNA. And in different cells, different parts of the DNA operate and tell the cell which order those amino acids need to go in. DNA is stored in the nucleus of the cell. So to get those instructions from the nucleus of the cell to the ribosomes, living things use something called messenger RNA. So let's take a look at how that messenger RNA gets the information from the DNA to the ribosome where it's used to put those amino acids together. At the top of this image, we've got the DNA molecule. And we should recognize it as a DNA molecule because it's got that double helix structure and it's got the bases that go to make up the genetic code. Now, how this genetic code is turned into that RNA molecule is each of those bases is replicated. And each of those bases gets replicated and put into a new string of information on this messenger RNA molecule. And these are then used to determine what order those amino acids are put into, which in turn determines what proteins are made. So let me demonstrate what I mean by that. In this image here, this part that I'm circling here is our messenger RNA molecule. And each series of 3 bases on our messenger RNA molecule codes for a different amino acid. Let me show you an example of this. So here we've got the A, U, and G sequence, and that codes for this particular amino acid. So whenever A, U, and G appear on our messenger RNA, then the ribosome knows to attach that particular amino acid. So here we can see A, U, and G, and again it codes for that same amino acid. So to make the entire protein, all the ribosome's got to do is work its way down that messenger RNA molecule, look at each series of 3 bases, and attach a different amino acid according to what combination of bases it comes across. And it keeps doing this until it's built the protein that it needs to make. And then the organism has built itself a new protein that it can use to go on and sustain its life. Here's a quick summary of what we've been learning about today. If you've got any comments or any feedback or any corrections or anything you think that I can do to improve, then make them in the comments below. I'm always looking to improve what I'm doing. And until next time, don't stop learning about science.